the Wall of Legends. This is where we recognize some of the greatest moments that maybe don't get enough attention or are misconstrued. Jerry, you want to?
Yeah. So on this week's Wall of Legends, last week we did Bill Belichick in his prime. Now we're going to a more serious topic with Colin Kaepernick kneeling in the anthem. Justin and I are both huge Colin Kaepernick supporters. He's probably my favorite player in the NFL in NFL history. I have a ton of posters and fat heads all over my wall with him. And what's your experience with Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah, we've been really big Colin Kaepernick's fans for a while, and there is a lot of turmoil and confusion and rage and just a bunch of different emotions that's going on in society today. And we just wanted to take a chance to just kind of talk to you guys about it. Just for a little background information, the picture we have today is Colin Kaepernick kneeling. He did this in 2016, but actually, what a lot of people don't know is prior to this, he was actually sitting down. And Nate Boyer, who was an NFL long snapper and also served in the Army for 6 years, saw this and, like many Americans, was outraged. He thought it was highly disrespectful to the flag in the country. He didn't understand why, but he wanted to find out more. So we talked to Colin, and Colin and him sat down, and Colin relayed his message that it's to bring awareness to civil injustice and oppression. And Nate goes, I can understand that, but I think you should carry about your message in a different way. And Colin goes, agreed. I don't want my message to get lost in the way I'm doing it. He goes, I think you should kneel because in the military, soldiers kneel at the graves of their fallen brothers and sisters. And Colin said, I agree. So by taking a knee, his goal was to bring awareness to the horrible injustice that has plagued our country for years by kneeling for those of our brothers and sisters we have lost because of this violence, this horrible violence. But yet his message was misconstrued. People took it as disrespect to the flag, and I can understand why. But he said very clearly, this is not about that. I respect everyone who is serving our country and fighting for us. I respect them. I appreciate them. But that is not my message. We need to face the people who are plaguing this country. It's not okay. Colin Kaepernick is very aware of what could happen to his career as he made this move. But I believe he knew that if his stance could save just one life, it would be worth it.
Yeah, and I know neither of us knew about the oppression and police brutality that was going on in the world and in America. And I think what he was doing was he was raising awareness, and he opened our eyes. And what he said was, why would I stand for a country that allows this type of violence to go unheard of with no consequences? And I couldn't agree with him more.
Yeah, no, I thank Colin Kaepernick for his bravery and his ability to use his platform to try to create real change. It's a real ever-present problem, and you can see it now. It's horrible. It's horrible. You should not have to leave your house and be afraid for who you are. I am a young white male, and I am outraged because of this. And it doesn't even affect me directly, but I'm so embarrassed and I feel horrible because I can't even imagine what it's like to live my life. We have like friends, family, brothers, sisters. Like there are people in everyone's life that we just can't imagine what they have to go through.
Yeah. So I remember when Kaepernick initially kneeled, I was in 7th or 8th grade, and I was extremely vocal about him, about why he's doing the right thing, and why I wish I could find a way to protest with him. So I would sit for the Pledge of Allegiance because we didn't do a national anthem at my school, and I got a ton of hate from my teachers. I got some hate from my friends, some just random people that I know. They're like, "Why does this matter? You're a white kid. This doesn't pertain to you." But I think it's really important that white people also have to understand. So Colin Kaepernick, he grew up in a predominantly white area in California. He was adopted by 2 white parents, and what he did, he educated himself. He read books. He went to college. He went to universities and listened. And the number one thing that I would tell white people to understand where this is coming from is by educating yourselves, understanding what black people have to go through on a daily basis from doing the most simple things, and to understand what white privilege is. White privilege isn't having the ability to buy materialistic items. It's the ability to go jogging without having your life threatened. Ahmaud Arbery. It's the ability to sell CDs without having your life threatened. Alton Sterling. It's the ability to walk home with Skittles without having your life threatened by police officers. Trayvon Martin, and even being arrested without having to fear my life. And that we see that happen with George Floyd in Minnesota. And I think the most important thing that you can do outside of educating yourself is to vote. Vote and put pressure on our government and on your local legislature to make change and make sure that the racist white people, or not just white people, but just anyone who's racist cannot be in our government, not be making decisions, and we can put an end to institutional racism.
It's up to us to make change. You have to go out. We've been avid supporters of Colin Kaepernick for years, but now is the time for more than that. We have to do more as a collective community. There's people who can't live their life because of this. Like, imagine all the looting that's going on right now, and you're sad because your favorite store got ruined or got destroyed. Imagine having to feel that all the time, but about your mom or your dad or your brother or your friend or your sister or your daughter or your son. You have to go out and fear that someone could be taken away from you just because of who they are. That's not okay. And we have been making the same mistake as a country for decades, centuries. Like, if you make a mistake, your intention should be to fix it. And you might make the mistake again. You might make it another time. But as long as you have the right intention to fix it, it should happen. We've been making the same mistake, just dressed up differently, for centuries. It is time to go out and create change. And it's time to inform those who don't understand or don't believe why that's not right. We have the power. We have the choice. Let's go make something happen.
Yeah, and that being said, so I would say the best things you can do outside of donating money to the memorial of George Floyd and making sure that that all the officers involved in his killing get locked up is to educate yourself, to vote, and to make sure that you know what you're talking about and know what you're saying, because you have to be racism shouldn't be an uncomfortable topic. It should be comfortable that everyone should agree that it shouldn't exist, and it shouldn't be in our schools, in our police, in our daily lives, and we have to put an end to institutional and systemic racism.
I agree.
Congrats, you made it to the end of the video. Look at us now. Yeah, I'm looking at you, dead in the eye. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and you can follow us on all social media platforms at the 50/50 Ball. Peace.